Hello there. Welcome back to another vlog. Merry Christmas, everyone. I guess 1st of December. You know. Hope you're all keeping warm in the cold winter time, unless you're living near equator, in which case, remember your sunscreen. Anyway, I want to address a bit of a problem today. I know a lot of other YouTubers have addressed this as well, but this is particularly tricky for a channel like mine, and you're gonna hear why if you stick around. So, not too long ago, YouTube started making some weird changes, and not necessarily for the better. I don't know if you've seen like different videos you had like no interest in, like more than usual, pop up on your recommendation screen, like. But I mean, I've had that, the B movie, where every time I say B, it speeds up. I've never had any interest in the B movie at all. I didn't even go and watch it in the theaters. Why the hell would it recommend it to me? It's just a stupid video anyway. That's my personal opinion. If you like it, sure. But the thing is, it started coming up with like recommendations of the most watched videos and the most popular videos at that time. And okay, let me just come up with a comparison here. You know that feeling when you feel like you have to fart, and then you start to let the fart out when you realize that it's not actually a fart. So you quickly stop it and you go to the toilet or something like that. Well, let's just say that YouTube shit themselves. They had a plan, they got it out there, and they didn't stop it when people started taking notice, I guess you can say. And now there's a shitstorm heading for YouTube. This is a but the thing I came with before, the B movie thing example, it's happening all over YouTube now, and it's happening to pretty much everyone at some point. But it's the entire idea behind that video, which it isn't just that video in particular. It's the entire idea behind it being that it's a very popular video right now, so everyone gets it gets recommended to everyone. And that's bad news for small content creators like me, or like my channel, because I'm not getting, when people don't get recommended anything from smaller channels. Let's say you've just watched a video with, let's say you don't know my channel, you just watched a video with Watch Dogs 2, it's like, oh, that seems pretty cool. And then in the recommendation section, the only videos that actually come up, oh, I should probably point over here, it's mirrored for you. The only videos that actually comes up here is, well, the biggest channels. The channels that has millions of followers and are famous and whatnot. Whereas a small channel like me, even though I provide gameplay with 1080p, 60 frames a second, I'm not getting anything. I won't even pop up out there. And without even being hardly noticed, I'm having a hard time getting, people to follow me anyway. And this just makes it even harder. But think about this. YouTube is a giant working space. There are thousands upon thousands of people, maybe even millions, who calls YouTube their workplace. And if a workplace changes things without telling anyone, in my eyes that's terrible. It's terrible style. And it's not cool. And it makes such a problem out of something which shouldn't even be a problem. But because no one is told about what is going on, no one is told anything, not even the biggest channels. I know for a fact that Jacksepticeye, who has 12,000 subscribers, has pointed this out, and 12 million, and he said himself he hasn't been notified about anything at all. So how would we small channels stand any chance of knowing what's going on? Some could say, but you just have to go to YouTube's website sometimes, see the updates. But how would we know there are updates if we don't get notified about it? How would we know things change until we see the effects of it ourselves? Because we get notified about nothing. Not even the biggest channels get notified about shit. And I mean, seriously, it's such a small thing you could do. Simply, when YouTube gets an update, send out an email or give us a notification or something like that. It isn't that hard to notify people about these changes, because small channels like mine and even some of the big channels would now see a dip in subscribers because YouTube has now started unsubscribing people from channels they no longer watch. Yes, they're doing that again. Bigger channels as well as small channels needs to prepare for these kind of changes, because we got no idea what's coming to us. And it's just I don't know how to say this. I'm getting so worked up about this right now, but I feel like it's necessary, because this is such an important thing to point out. Really? Thank you. Thank you very much. But my point is, this is making me angry as fuck. Because YouTube is such a... I don't want to call it an asshole, but it doesn't think of the people working for them. Let's just say that. Over the last couple of months, I've begun calling myself a content creator. Because anyone who submits anything to YouTube or uploads any videos and such could call themselves a content creator. But I've been uploading videos as often as I've been able to for the past 2 months. I've had this channel for 6 months. Almost. I think I started it early June or mid through June. Can't remember. And it's for a content creator, this is a giant problem. And I think you know why now. I hope I did get the point across, because I don't want to scream about this anymore. But this isn't a message to you. This is a message to YouTube. To get their shit together. Because this is one of the world's largest working sites. So many people makes this the place where they earn their money for rent, for food, as I said, to have roof over their head, to be able to go to conventions, to be able to meet the people who follows them. But what if they can't no more? I'm not talking about the big channels there, and I'm not talking about the ones with millions. No, I'm talking about the ones with like anything below 6 digits, anything below 100,000. Maybe this is their job, and they're just able to keep food in their belly and to pay their rents. and I can't just sit idly by. I'm rallying behind these people because something needs to change, and it's such a small thing to do, but it's really needed, because YouTube as a working site needs to notify its workers about changes, and especially changes which comes in such a large quantity as this, which is so important for a viewers, for a content creator's view account, for their subscribers. And I don't know what else I can do. I can sit here and scream and shout about everything for days and nothing would happen. I'm just one small YouTuber, but if more people point out this problem, sooner or later YouTube will have to do something about it. And I just feel like I'm doing my part right now. Anyway, this video is getting very long. There's no reason for it to be this. Thank you all for watching, and I hope this didn't drag out too much. I hope I addressed this problem to you, and hopefully you will spread the word, right?